Welcome. My name is Jasmine Kamboj, and I'm a medical oncologist and hematologist in the state of Minnesota and your host for the day. Empowering Oncologists is a podcast brought to you by OncoDaily, where we will focus on an oncologist's day-to-day concerns about their being and workflow, with a vision to find sustainable solutions. We hope to share our stories of wins, losses, resilience, and inspire and empower our community because we fly higher and longer when we fly together. Before we dive in, a disclaimer. The views shared on the podcast are an individual's and in no way are contributions from any institution, organization, or guidelines. As the science of oncology continues to evolve with research and technology, we cannot deny that there is more emphasis on the art of oncology as well. It was part of the presidential team 2 years ago, and indeed we cannot practice good medicine if we don't apply the art behind the science. For our session today, we have Dr. Maryam Lustberg, who is a professor in internal medicine, serves as the Chief of Breast Oncology at Yale Cancer Center, and also has national and global leadership roles in supportive care, survivorship, and symptom management. She is a single mom to a 12-year-old. When not working, Dr. Lustberg likes to travel. Dr. Lustberg, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such a great idea, and I'm honored to be here.
Oh, thank you. Maryam, tell us about your journey and how did you end up at Yale?
So it was, I had grown up in the East Coast. I had grown up in the DC, Maryland area. And then through the couples match that I had during fellowship applications, ended up in Ohio. And it was a wonderful experience. I still keep in touch with my Ohio State colleagues. And it was a wonderful start to my career, but I always wanted to return back to the East Coast. So around the time of COVID, there was a job posting, and I had a warm call inviting me to apply for this leadership position at Yale. And it's sort of the rest is history. I think I really desired a change, a return to the East Coast, and also really wanted to come to a program that I really felt very excited about the potential leadership opportunities and opportunities for growth.
Beautiful. Anything in particular in the East Coast that attracts you or that you like?
So, I'm an immigrant. I immigrated to the United States at the age of 10, and the DC, Maryland area was where I first, took my first home. And so I think when you're an immigrant, the first place that you settle, always you associate with home. And so I think it could be as simple as that. I think over time, after I left Ohio, I still returned periodically because my son, was born there and he has close friends there. And so when I returned to Columbus, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I don't think I appreciated Columbus enough when I was living there. So I think it was more kind of that feeling of home related to settling in the East Coast as a child.
Absolutely. No, we can all relate to that. Where we start kind of becomes our home. That's so true.
Yes.
Dr. Lustberg, you serve as the Chief of Breast Oncology, but are also heavily engaged as a leader in supportive care, survivorship, and symptom management. You've served as a president and a board member of the international organization called Multinational Association of Supportive Care in Cancer. Please enlighten us why leadership roles in such organizations and under these spaces are so crucially important.
It's been absolutely enriching in so many ways. I have learned so much by having a presence in these global circles. One, you really go beyond yourself and your institution when you kind of interact with global colleagues. And so made very close friends from all around the world in my many roles within MASC and other organizations. So I think it expands your worldview, and you realize that things that you may see in your very narrow circle, there may be other perspectives And so I think this has been just an incredible part of my career growth. And I think it's helped me be a better physician by seeing how different cultures and different countries may practice medicine. And so I'm very grateful to have had these opportunities.
This is so well said because when we pursue these global roles, I mean, I personally don't have any, so I can't speak to that personally, but I've shared this with so many people on the podcast where, they have these global roles and they're not only disease specific or space specific, but they kind of get exposure to these cultures and particularly problems around LMICs and how folks are handling cancer care in those countries.
Exactly. One of my initiatives as MASC president was to create a committee specifically looking at disparities within delivery of supportive care services in low and middle income countries. And this has led to multiple initiatives and publications and has really helped unite different MASC affiliates. So this is one of the things that I'm very deeply proud of.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Maryam, one of your research focus is around biomarkers to identify treatment toxicity earlier. I was absolutely fascinated when I read this on your profile. Please share how the science behind the quality of life versus minimizing toxicity aspects of oncology has evolved over time.
Yes, so one of my first grants was an ASCO Young Investigator Award, where at the time, this was almost 20 years ago, circulating tumor cells were the big biomarker at the time, and we didn't have circulating tumor DNA then. And so that's kind of where I started with blood-based biomarker, and that was the start of my research funding career. Over time, I started working with many translational researchers to see if we could find genetic signatures of common therapy-related toxicities. This included a neuropathy or aromatase inhibitor or arthralgias. And so definitely have worked with many teams on trying to figure out if we can identify patients who are more likely to have problems before they have problems. And, it hasn't been a slam dunk in that I think, as we all know, humans are quite complex, and I think the idea of simply looking at genetics and genomics to predict toxicity response, I think what we're learning is that there's multiple additional parameters that go into that, including other clinical factors, the patient's environment, their social factors, their social environment. So there have been promising signals that we have published on, but my goal is to continue to progress in this area. And my dream is that eventually I can walk into a patient room and be able to more precisely tell them, this is the toxicity you're most at risk for, and let's pick this and this therapy to maybe help you have a better experience. So the idea of precision medicine to go beyond therapeutics, but also in terms of symptom prediction and symptom toxicity. We're not there yet, but I think I do have a lot of hope that we will get there in time.
How fascinating would that be? Like precision toxicity check, right? Like precision oncology. That's amazing.
Exactly. And our patients have really spoken about how important this is to them. Our laundry lists of potential side effects with cancer therapies, it's hard for them to know which one is really going to apply to them. So I think we do owe it to them to make things more precise.
100%. And particularly, I mean, it's unfortunately, we're seeing younger and younger cancer patients, breast cancer, colorectal cancer patients. So it's really important that we try and minimize toxicity and morbidity long term because fortunately, folks are living long term. And so I think that's the next phase in oncology to minimize toxicity. So that's 100%. Great.
Yes.
Thank you. Maryam, you've been recognized for your mentorship and have garnered awards like the Best Teacher Award by the Hem/Onc Fellows and the Shining Star Award for Medical Student Mentorship. What makes you a great teacher or a great mentor? What's your secret sauce there?
don't know if I have a secret sauce. I think I feel very humbled by these awards. I feel like I've had the best mentees and the best students that make it easy. I really enjoy interacting with learners at all levels. I feel like I learn from them. So I think that curiosity and openness, hearing their ideas. And I also often think about how vulnerable I felt when I was early on in my training and how just one receptive mentor could make your day or make your week. And so I try to remember that and try to embody that and really make myself as available as possible and try to meet them at where their goals are, because different mentees and different learners want different things from me. And so I try to tailor it as much as possible.
I really love how you say that you go in with a mindset of curiosity and openness, because exactly that is what is needed from a good mentor. Oftentimes we know the right answer to our problem deep in our gut. We just don't have the courage to maybe identify it or speak it out loud, and that's where the mentors and coaches come into picture. And so that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And also your point about, the vulnerability with which we all start, like the first 6 months of fellowship, I couldn't even pronounce the drug names.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
So that's where we need them the most. Perfect.
Yes.
Dr. Lustberg, you're a single parent and have been recognized by Forbes as one of the top breast oncologists in the nation. How do you pull this off as a parent with so many responsibilities and yet as a great breast oncologist and leader at the same time?
I feel very lucky. I've had great support. I think I've had tremendous mentors and sponsors, and I still keep in touch with many of them. But I also have an amazing mom. My mom really helps me so much and has been a really amazing cheerleader. And she's proud of my achievements. And if I have to go on a trip to give a talk, she says, "Go, you should go. We'll be okay at home." So I think I've had good support at home to make all these things possible.
Right. You know how they say it, like, behind every successful girl, there is a mom who lets her dream and follows through.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Any guidance or advice to share with early career oncologists or trainees?
I think it takes a few tries to find your people. And by that, I mean your mentorship team, your sponsorship team, or even your peer support. I think I would just encourage the folks listening in to not get disappointed if maybe the first few tries don't fully work out. It has to be a right fit, and you have to feel comfortable interacting with this team, and they don't have to be all in the same institution. I think I've been part of my success has been that I've very much reached out outside of my institution very early on and fostered these connections, and just being persistent. I think we do take it personally when an email is not responded to. And as I've gotten busier, I've learned that it's nothing personal and that sometimes there's 100 emails in a day and it's easy to miss an email. So if you've written someone and they haven't responded, not being afraid to ping them again, and just exploring different relationships and knowing that your mentors are also struggling with their own struggles, and that ultimately they want your success as much as you do, and to kind of find those people who are going to be your big cheerleaders.
That's great advice, yeah, because I do feel like a lot of the times we get discouraged. I certainly am guilty of that. Like, we get discouraged if we don't find the right answers or the right people in our first attempt. That's so great. What advice you would give to your self of 10 years ago? Something you would have done differently?
I think I have felt stressed and anxious for a lot of my personal and professional career. So I think if I could go back in time, I would tell her that things were going to work out, and that it's not about a specific grant or a specific publication, and that, you win some and you lose some. But I don't know if I even fully believe or act that way now, because I think there are definitely strong type A tendencies here. But I think if I could just embody more calmness and knowing that ultimately it's our relationships that matter, it's our personal fulfillment, and knowing that we've given back to the world, and less about those, trophy achievements that sometimes we just get really bent on. So that would be my advice to my younger self.
That's great advice, actually. Hard to follow maybe in early training stage, but early career stage. But yeah, very, very robust advice. All right, Maryam, a little bit of a fun part of the podcast, which is a rapid fire. Your favorite book?
So I don't know if I have a favorite book, but I do have a favorite author. For the listeners, Ann Tyler is an amazing novelist who's written a series of books set in Baltimore, and so I did a lot of my training in Baltimore. So her books are very special to me.
Yeah.
And one of her books led to the movie Accidental Tourist, if that brings greater recognition. But she really focuses on just the nuances of human relationships, and she's an amazing writer.
I'll have to watch that movie. Your favorite leader?
I don't know. I mean, I think when I think different leaders have different strengths, and I think it's really important to not idealize one leader over another. I think what I try to do is, from each leader that I interact with, I try to see their strengths and also kind of things that maybe I need to learn from. But I wouldn't say I have a specific leader in mind.
Fair enough. That's actually very wisely said, because everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and yeah, that's very, very nicely said. Your favorite non-breast cancer study?
So, I think there have been my favorite non-cancer study. So I think I really like the most recently reported challenge study, which looked at exercise and colorectal cancer. I think it was a powerful study showing, again, but in a more randomized perspective fashion, that exercise is medicine. And this is something that I talk quite a bit with my patients.
Yeah, me too. Your favorite restaurant in New Havens, Connecticut?
Oh, so many. We just did a pizza tour. So for those of you who don't know New Haven, there's amazing pizza here. So my son and his friend and I did this tour where we sampled all the pizzas throughout this pizza district in New Haven, and Sally's and Tio Pepe's. It was quite fun.
Is that where pizza started? Is that right?
It might be, although I was eating too much to listen to the history.
That's awesome. Your favorite travel spot?
Oh, I love Greece. I think Greece is just so incredible. The blue of the water against those white, beautiful domes and buildings. I do love Greece, but I'm the kind of traveler where no matter where I go, I'm like, I could live here. I would love to move here. So I feel like every place has its own specialness.
Oh, that's lovely. Any fun travel stories, Maryam?
Travel stories. Oh gosh. So I traveled to Morocco. This is going to be my third year or fourth year going to Morocco, and we have the most incredible hosts who take us to the most exotic, just incredible shopping in these old bazaars. And I think just wandering through these streets, the people and the experiences, and experiencing Morocco has been one of the highlights of my trips. And this has been one of the sequelae of my involvement with NASC. So back to your original question, I think it's been part of that global enrichment.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's wonderful. Morocco is one of our bucket list travel spots. We haven't done that yet, but we want to.
You will love it.
Maryam, last question for you. If you were to relive your life, would you become an oncologist?
I think so. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think I would still focus on breast cancer. I just love working with patients and families dealing with breast cancer. It's not all fluffy and good. I think there is breast cancer presents, as you know, with a range of severity. So we had some tough conversations today in addition to happy ones. But yeah, I think it's something that I feel deeply about, and I think it's one of my greatest honors to practice as a breast oncologist.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Thanks, Dr. Lustberg. This is all for now. 3 key takeaways for oncology community from our conversation with Dr. Maryam Lustberg. Leadership in survivorship and symptom management and art of oncology is more important than ever as the science in this space continues to grow and evolve. And I'm really happy personally that the art of oncology is kind of taking a new level and gaining new heights and strengths in the background of science of oncology. Second one, folks, find your village of mentors, sponsors, peers, friends, whatever. And these are the people who truly believe in you and listen to you and are friends with you. And this may not happen in your first attempt. So as Dr. Lustberg said, don't get discouraged. It might take a few attempts to really find your people. And once you find that right fit, I think it really makes a difference to how you fly in your career and in your personal life too, actually. Lastly, as the times are overwhelmingly, strong in terms of how rapid we are growing in oncology and with technology and AI, I think it's ever more important that we connect with each other, we build our communities, and we learn from each other with a curious and open mind, and actually even embrace each other's vulnerabilities, because that does make us a better person, a better mentor, and a better friend. That is all, folks. Thank you to our viewers and listeners. This is Jasmine Kamboj and Dr. Maryam Lustberg signing off on behalf of OncoDaily from our conversation on Empowering Oncologists. And now we have the Empowering Oncologists playlist on YouTube. Don't miss an episode and stay tuned. Thanks, Dr. Lustberg. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to OncoDaily on YouTube. Hit the bell icon to stay updated.